Generally, some people think meditation is nothing, not to think anything. But the meaning of the word med itself is indicating that we need to think about something. Okay. But what we need to think. So we learned that in the last session, in the previous sessions, right? We need to replace the waste thoughts to pure thoughts, and that which is correlating right now, right? So we have to think, we have to be mindful of what? Mindful of the image of ourself as a soul. Okay, because we are thinking about that. So we have to be mindful. Who are we talking to? Because we said we have to talk to ourselves, right? To feel ourselves. We will understand that. And how are we going to do it? By taking appropriate measures through right method. How will we know that right method? Is through understanding. So judge means using your intellect. So we have to use our mind and intellect, okay, in order to concentrate and feel, okay, the self. So mind thinks and intellect is the one who directs the mind, okay, that is that it will make a decision, okay, where mind is going to focus and direct the mind by taking appropriate measures, okay, by knowing what is right and wrong, by knowing pros and cons, and just choosing the best out of all, okay, and concentrating the mind on that. So I hope it is clear to you what is the meditation in the real sense. Experiencing the self as a soul itself is the meditation, okay. And it's just it is little incomplete in a sense. We will define a little bit in depth in the deeper sense, which is in the as far as when it comes with healing part. See, just know seeing yourself as a soul will not heal, okay. We have to link the self with God after we feel ourself as a soul, okay, and that itself becomes that meditation. The effect of meditation will be felt at that time, but right now we have to start with step 1, okay. Step 2 will be taught later of this meditation. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so now it is clear. I am not my society, my family, my religion, my body. I am a soul. Okay, a sentiment power that works with the body. Okay, a power with the power made up of mind, intellect, and sanskars. We'll talk about it in detail in the future session. Okay, so don't put a lot of thoughts and thinking about why, what, how on those 3 faculties of the soul. Okay, so meditation is to experience, okay, each original qualities of the soul, okay, versus the experience of self-esteem based on the limited identities, right? So here it is, that's what we have said, that we have to experience the soul, the qualities of the soul with the vision of the soul, not limited to, not drifted away with the limited identities of the body. Okay, so now first thing here is we need to know how we should meditate. Why we are meditating, why we are meditating. Why do I want to meditate? Need to ask that question, right? Why do I want to meditate? Okay. So generally, most of the people will say, oh, because I want to feel peaceful constantly, right? I want to constantly feel peaceful. Okay, so so that goal is clear, that I want to feel peaceful, not just temporarily. I want to be constantly peaceful, right? So, and it will motivate me or directed my efforts to in reaching the goal, because I have I exactly know why am I doing it. So I'm going to put my efforts to it accordingly to reach that goal. Okay. Okay, so one of the most important reasons for meditation is also to restore the balance between inside and outside world. Currently, we are completely extroverted, okay, focused on the outside world. Okay, some people may ask, oh, if I just constantly focus on the soul, how I'm going to do other things? Well, it's not about leaving your responsibilities, it's all about balancing it. By performing it, how can I still do two things. Do it in the awareness of being soul conscious. Okay, so generally, as it says in here, generally we are focused on the things around us rather than on the things inside us. All right. And we think about work, friends, family. We are constantly subjected to sounds, to things we see and information, all of which are expected to respond to. Okay, so basically right now, whatever we are learning, it will help us deal with all those things of as far as by making the right decision, and strength. So it says and so that's why it says in here, if we don't have a strong sense of our inner world identity, we are at risk of being led instead of having the power to lead our own lives. So the situation will become heavy on us. Okay, more we go away from our true self, harder it becomes for us to deal with the challenges that is coming from outside. Okay, we then feel that we are at mercy of many external influences and feel out of control. So that's why we should make this as our priority. Spending more time being introverted, spending more time knowing myself instead of constantly saying, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Okay, so we need to make this as a priority if we want to really protect ourselves from the external influences. Okay, so the result of not having a sense of your identity is that you become dependent on others. It is then becomes more important what they think or feel rather than what you think or feel. See, we give our control to them. Okay, we completely give our control to them, remote control to them, so they can play with it. And when it affects me, okay, quite often the influence is not in the direction of your choice, which will make you feel a victim. Okay, when situation is stronger than you are, you will be distracted by. The result is lack of concentration and clarity. Okay, all these are the symptoms of living out of tune with your inner self. So more and more we get influenced, more and more we are going away from our true self. So that's why we have to make this as our priority. Okay, all right, so let's learn a little bit more about meditation. We are going to summarize the steps. Okay, I'm going to start that in the next session. So I will have the next clip just on summarizing very briefly on the steps that we are discussing in a detail right now. But most important part is you need to take your own notes when you're listening this session. Okay, if you are not taking it, of course we have mentioned earlier that you should take your notes, but if you are not, please do that for this session. Okay, so what is meditation? We learned about it, and then also in here it's to think about. So in here we are going to think about our true self. So meditation is basically an inner dialogue or conversation with ourselves. Okay, true self. Right, so we have spent so much time talking to other people, engaged in other things, right? Now it's time for us to talk to ourselves, okay, with the right vision. So when we are looking for answers to a question, we tend to ask others, what would you do if you were me? But of course, the other person is not you. And in the end, you will have to decide for yourself. Okay, so the more we get to know ourselves, more we will find out what it is we really want. That's why an inner dialogue is so important. It's a conversation, a relationship, okay, with the one whom you really are, Okay, so during this conversation, you will get to know yourself, your deep desires, your strengths, talents, and qualities. It will boost your self-confidence. Okay, your weakness will become visible, but it is very important that we look at all these aspects of our personality and we will understand that why we have this stain on us. We will understand that in the future session. So rather looking at the weakness, just become aware of your weakness, but we need to focus on our strengths, okay, through this meditation. Because a lot has happened to us as souls over the course of time. So we need to know that. You will see that picture in the future sessions, okay. And then also, it's a very good point here. It has mentioned, if you can see, there are lots of inner patterns, ideas, and misunderstanding that consciously and unconsciously play a role in our lives. Okay, just like ideas about our role, status, religion, color, creed, culture, okay, have dictated our lives to a great extent. Okay, and that has made us body conscious, developing in us inferiority or superiority complexes, intolerance, fear, insensitivity, disappointment, loneliness. Okay, so all these types of experiences have led us away from who we really are. Okay, it's the original complete individual, that is the eternal soul. Okay. Yeah, so in here also it has says that we can read books, argue with each other, follow one course after the other, but in the end, we will only find our real self in the silence of meditation, true meditation, not any meditation. Okay, for no one can tell you exactly who you are. We only have to experience this with ourselves. Okay, so that's why it is important for us to take time for this. All right, so meditation is for inner healing, to make us whole once again. Okay, by pondering on who am I, where am I going, what I should be doing, who I can trust, what is true, what is false. We will have that heart conversation with ourselves based on the knowledge. Okay, so we cannot, nobody can solve these questions other than ourselves. Okay, so that's why we have to pay this attention to the study of Raj Yoga. Right, we are going to recharge our battery like soul. Okay, so we'll have a lot of spiritual power, spiritual energy when we connect with God. Okay, and that will resolve a lot of the vices, actually, that will kind of transform our vices and make us pure. Right, and that will also stabilize the mind and intellect, which is the second step of the meditation. We'll be talking later. Okay. Okay, many of us, we try to involve externally, okay, doing lot of volunteer work or donation. We think, oh, that will give us lot of blessings, and that will bring peace in our life, or create good karmic accounts. In reality, unless we change our consciousness from body conscious to soul conscious, our karmic accounts, we will never finish creating the karmic accounts. It will get worse and worse. Giving the donation itself will create more karmic accounts later. So that is not the option for us. We are living in illusion if we are thinking. Okay, volunteer work and donation are not the means for us to feel ourselves as a soul, or burn our sins, or transform us, or helping us come closer to our true self. Okay, they don't result in permanent change. Okay, you might feel good for some time. Okay, but because of that also, if we perform it accurately, okay, it will give the results temporarily, but not the permanent change. Okay, it will not really change our bad habits. It will not really stop our waste and negative thoughts that I will be having throughout the day. Okay, it's just a momentary happiness. Okay, compared to how much energy we put, we are not getting much results back. Okay, so we should put less energy and get more results. So how can we do that? We are understanding. It doesn't mean you should not volunteer or donate. Please don't take me wrong, but it's just to understand that they are not going to really bring the inner transformation that we are looking for. Okay, so wealth can buy the books, but not wisdom. Wealth can buy people, but not harmonious relationships. Wealth can buy luxuries, but not peace of mind. Okay, so what kind of needs bring the permanent change? Only one need. Take out the time to know yourself, to reflect, recognize, and realize the true self. Okay, we have to go inwards. Right now, all of us are afraid to go inwards. Our mind is just taking us away to the outside world constantly. You have to do this, you have to do this, or our past is hunting constantly, through the waste and negative thoughts. Well, we have to face that. If we need to go inwards and face that. Okay, but we are not just looking at it and not doing anything. And now in meditation, we are going to do something. Okay, we are going to shift our attention to something else and then let it come and go. We are going to not focus on it. All right, so that's what we are doing it. Okay, because we are with the aim of serving a greater purpose here. We can easily able to do that. So introspection is must. Okay, it doesn't mean ignoring people, things around you. It doesn't mean that you don't communicate. We learn to, of course, here we will do this meditation with open eyes. Okay, but still we remain within ourselves. Introspection means being able to create and control our thoughts no matter what is happening around you. That is called introspection. Okay, so we are the one who creates our own reality. Okay, so that's why there is a subtle difference between reacting and responding. Okay, we are used to reacting to people and things around us. We see something, before we know it, we react. Responding is something we consciously do. We think about it, then we decide whether to do it or not. Responding implies a choice. Okay, so doing this, learning this, we will learn how to respond instead of react. Right, in the Bhagavad Gita itself, it has said that we need to make effort to experience our swadharma. Swadhanam nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha. So if we remain in body consciousness, we are going to continuously have fear within us. Okay, so this is the nature of the soul. All these qualities only. This is the property of the soul, myself. Nothing else belongs to me other than this qualities. Okay, so I don't have to make so much effort to experience this because this is my property. I just have to have the faith that even one single thought with any of this quality can bring the transformation if I have faith. Okay, based on understanding, we have to create faith because experience will come later. Okay, but based on understanding, if we don't build that faith, okay, and that yes, I am this, you will not be able to concentrate the mind to feel yourself. Okay, so faith is very, very important. So you need to have your intellect sit. This is it. Don't have lot of but, why, what, all those things. Sit with the information you have, just have it stabilized. This is it. I am a soul. This is my property. Vices are not me. And then when you see waste and negative thoughts, you have to constantly reject them, saying, this is not me. This is not me. Why is it coming? How can it stop that? It will automatically happen. Don't have in why, what, how. That means it will increase more waste thoughts. Okay, so here through pure thoughts, this whatever the understanding you receive, we need to have point. Stop it. Okay, because I am this. So you need to have to stamp this in every thought. It's coming into stamp this. I am this. I am this. I am this. So then you will not have so many thoughts coming. Okay. Okay, so last session we did say, right, whenever we said beautiful, strong, clean, okay, powerful, we know that belongs to us. That's why we remember that at the time of the need. Okay, so but here we are going to exactly experience that with the image, with the correct image. Okay. Okay, so meditation is art of staying close to myself, to my pure spiritual self. Okay, through this I will have my feelings of confidence in an inner peace. Okay, it doesn't matter what the circumstances be. Okay, so without expectation, I have to make effort. Without making effort, initially also I start the effort with expectation, then your mind will never be at peace. Just focus on the effort and then have faith that just like when you sow the seed of mango, we don't need to think so many times when I'm going to get mango, am I going to get mango. It is sure, our intellect is settled, I am going to get mango, but maybe not today. Okay, yes, when the fruit will come, I'm only going to get mango. We also have to going to do that. Okay, so don't have our mind so desperate, will it, or doubtful. Okay. Okay, so it is important to get to know ourselves so we can able to control, we can be in the control under all the situations. Okay, okay, see, it's very, this is very nice. The biggest difference between the things that pass and things that are permanent, things that pass are the situation, outer appearances, it changes, right? Clothes, different roles we play, even our body, but it is because it is perishable. So that can't be a good support to give us constant happiness, right? So as you sow, so you shall reap. So my support has to be something imperishable because that's what I'm looking for. Okay, constant peace, constant happiness. So my support is my vision, my true self as a soul. Okay, to experience that, I need to practice this. Right. So last time, so now I have to shift my, whenever I say I, okay, this is important. I, so whenever I say I, okay, I need to have that awareness that I need to ask that question, who am I talking to? I, who is I? Am I really referring to body or am I referring to myself as I am a soul, the original form? Okay, am I really in my original awareness of I am the star talking through this body? Do I have, I need to build up that awareness whenever you say I. Okay, we have to. So shifting that vision comes from being aware of what am I saying. Okay, and connecting with the right identity. I has to be connected with I, the soul, every single time when you say I. So we need to start that. Okay, whenever you say I, you need to step back. Okay, and you need to see, did I see myself separate in this body? Am I really referring to myself as a soul or the body? If you have referred you to self as a body, then all the vices will trap you. Okay, by the end of the day. Right? So original meaning of I should be it should be within me very firmly. Okay, so I am a soul. So that's pretty much the main part here that I want you to be aware of. Okay, I am the original, I am the soul. Okay, original incorporeal form. That first lesson I have to make it firm. Otherwise, it will bring the arrogance of the body. Okay, and this is very, very important. See, our action, why is it important? Because our action should be based on our dharam. Okay, dharam means special dharana, inculcation, special practice. Okay, so what I am doing is I am remembering my dharam when I say I. Okay, dharam means special practice. Okay, inculcation, special awareness that I am creating. Okay, so my actions can be performed based on that awareness. Okay, so if my dharam is not accurate, my actions also will be according to my dharam. If I have that inculcation, okay, of recollection of that special special practice, or you can say the special awareness of myself as a soul, accordingly my actions will be. Okay, because the soul is the seed, right? So performing actions that are inaccurate is inaccurate dharana. Okay, just like some people think I'm a human being, my religion is this and that, and it means having a body consciousness. So your dharam, you took your identity was connected to I'm Hindu, Muslim, and then that's when your actions will be also all connected with all the beliefs of the Hinduism and the practices. It will not be based on your original qualities in a pure form. There will be mixturity of body consciousness, and it will lead to have that negative outcomes, to having that wrong image. Okay, so my awareness, my dharam, just remember my dharam is I am a soul. Okay, I'm a dharam, Om Shanti. That's why we will talk about it. Shanti is my dharam. Okay, you have to remember that. Who am I? I, the soul. My dharam is Shanti. So your actions will automatically will be peaceful. You can experiment that. Okay, so right dharam, if I have done the action under the right dharam, which means the special awareness or practice, I will have the results accordingly. Okay, I will not get affected by the things outside if I do that. Okay, I'm elevated soul, I'm embodiment of elevated virtues. Okay, so the reason why your actions become ordinary form from elevated was the lack of your religion, which is dharana of I am an elevated soul, an embodiment of elevated virtues. Okay, so we have to be dharamatma, okay, righteous soul, when we remember the truth about ourselves and perform the action. Okay, so that is the main point in here.